Hello everyone. In this session, I will continue with the DML operations. So in this session, I will cover select statement in detail, right? As you know, select is the DML operation, right? So here today we will have discussion on detailed syntax of select statement with the from clause, right? Then where clause and order by clause, right? So we will see in detail. So as we know, select operation is the DML operation and select operation is used for retrieving the data from the database, right? The best example of select operation is here to retrieve the student list whose attendance is less than 75%, right? See, always in the any application, right, software application, we need some queries, some statement, those will give you the desired data as per the application requirement. The best example is what here, as a class teacher, after every fortnight, means after 15 days, I want to retrieve data here, that is uh, student list whose attendance is less than 75%, right? So definitely I need some syntax, right? That syntax will provide me this list, right? So select statement is used for here report generation, right? So here we will see the syntax, detailed syntax of the select statement. So here my first clause is the select clause, right? It is a keyword, right? Then after a select clause, we always mention here column list, those you want to retrieve from the database, right? As you know, my RDBMS, in the RDBMS, my data is represented in the form of rows and columns, right? So definitely from the table, we want to retrieve specific rows or specific column as per the application requirement, right? So the syntax is based on what? To retrieve the specific rows and specific column from the data, right? So now see how you can retrieve the specific rows and specific column. For example, in the example, we discussed that my from the student table only I want to display the name of the student and roll number of the student, right? So these two columns I want to retrieve from the table, right? So in table there may be other columns, for example class, right? And permanent address of the student, and your phone number of the student, right? Department of the student, but I want only the roll number and name of the student, right? And I want to display only specific columns. Which specific columns I want to retrieve here? Sorry, specific rows I want to display here on in the records, in the result, that is the student, those are having the attendance less than 75%, right? So here my condition is what? Condition is based on the attendance, right? So attendance is less than 75%. So only the student, specific student records, right? Those are having attendance less than 75%. I want to retrieve from the table, right? So how you can do this? So here is the syntax: select column list. In the column list, you will mention only roll number, comma, name, right? From table name. So from which table name you want to display this? So here you need to mention this table name. My table name will be student here, for example, right? Then after mentioning the table name, here you can mention the criteria, right? So here criteria you can specify with the help of where clause, right? So here my condition will be where attendance is less than 75%, right? Actually, where clause is optional. All these options, those are mentioned in these square brackets, are optional, right? So these are optional, means without where clause, my select query will retrieve all the records from the table. If you fire the query select star from table name, select star from student, so this select star from student will display all the student or student record, those are available in the table along with the all the columns. So star indicate here all the columns, and without where clause, my select query will retrieve all the records from the table, right? So here one of the clause that we can use with the select query is the where clause that we use to mention the criteria. With example, we will see in the next slide, right? Then after where clause, also we can use here group by clause if it is required as per your query solution requirement, right? You can use these options, right? So if my query is a group by query, right? Also group by query we will cover in detail in the syllabus. Then you can use here group by clause. So having clause always we use with the group by clause. There is a pair of these two. Without group by clause, we can't use here having clause. So what is the use of having clause, that I will cover in the next coming session. Then order by clause also you can use here to order the result in the ascending or descending order, and not only with one specific column, with the multiple column also you can here order the result in either ascending or descending order, right? So this is the detailed syntax of the select query, right? So here I will discuss one example, that query solution I will write here. So here is the example that we discuss for retrieving the student. Those are having attendance less than 75%. So how you can write this query here? Select If I want to display only roll number, I will write here roll number of the student. That will be one of the field of the student. Roll number, then name, right? Name of the student. From which table you want to retrieve this roll number and name, that is student table. My table name is here student, right? And then after from clause, you can use here where clause. So where clause always we use to filter the data, right? Where clause we use to add some criteria to the query. For example, my criteria is attendance is less than 75%, right? Then my query end with the semicolon. So this is the solution of my query. Here, attendance will be one of the column in the table. Roll number and name are also columns. So this condition always we add in the column name, right? So this specific records only, those are having attendance 75%, we want to display on the screen here, right? We want to retrieve this data, right? This is my table name, right? So what will be the result of this query? My first column will be roll number, then second column will be name of the result, right? And my, for example, the student name will be 101 with the Neha, for example, right? Then 102 with the name of the student Vijay, for example. Then 202 with the name of the student Ajay, and so on, right? So all these students will have the attendance less than 75%. I hope student you are clear with this.